ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. Thank you for joining us, all those seen and unseen. We are moving into a new phase. We began this series of um, sessions to help ourselves and help those people who are being part of this simply to go through that process of fear, paranoia, stress, anxiety, and cultivate certain conditions when you bang in the middle of the storm in order to create some level of health. And I am really pleased to hear from all the people who come back to me how much they appreciate these sessions that we've been doing in order for them to help themselves and help their family members. It's been really heartwarming to hear that. So, as we said to you back in March, that the fear will, over a period of time, move into this energy of anger. And you can see now this energy of anger starting to manifest itself in different places. The events that are taking place in all the cities that are um, standing up really to the injustice of just basic humanity to people who are disadvantaged, whether they're of color, disability, gender, so on and so forth. And this is something that the my tradition itself is very much aware of and has been really the mirror to it, and uh, standing up to it and calling it for what it is. Guru Nanak started this in the day of Babur, the emperor, who was also quite a ruthless human being. And it's no different today. The only difference is that we have technology, we have ability to be together, we have ability to influence one another through communication. And more importantly, we're also open to being influenced as well. So, in this energy that is now moving into the energy of anger, it is absolutely critical that you do not contribute to it. Do not contribute to it. Yes, we can show our indignation. Yes, we can call what is unjust as unjust. And yes, we can make ourselves vocal, but not through the energy of anger. Because this energy of anger is really whatever we put out there is the mirror that's going to show us what we're going to get. So in this transition process, either we can make it easy for ourselves, or we can, be like spoiled children, want to do it our way. And in that case, it'll just take a lot longer. So you will notice very quickly, as soon as we told you said earlier on, around the end of May, 28th, 29th of May, we will start to see this change. Now you can see that it's simply moving from one crisis to another, one crisis to another. And you have to ask yourself the question, is this the way life is? Or is this somehow being manufactured? Because you and I and everyone else, as this stuff explodes into many facets, we will demonstrate to us the lies, the manipulation, the absolute hypocrisy, and the inhumanity that has been exercised on all by a few is becoming apparent. People are starting to ask the right questions. As we were saying throughout these sessions, there are some indiscrepancies with the statistics, with the figures. It seems like propaganda. And now information is demonstrating that yes, there are real questions to be asked. So as we begin to recognize how this has affected us, as we begin to recognize how this whole process is impacting us on a day to day level and our everyday life, people who have lost jobs, people who have uncertainty, people who have fear, they can't go out, they can't quite um, socialize in the way that they used to. And all of these things has an impact. This has an impact. Getting yourself into this negative space is really assisting the darkness. It's assisting the energy that is stagnant, the energy that is destructive, the energy that is brings your vibration low, energy of suffering. Or you can stay in presence. For presence is where we need to cultivate our attention. It is in the presence that we can make a difference to what's going on around us. There are many studies that have demonstrated the impact of meditation on the surrounding, but more importantly, the impact of the meditation on you. So we began with restoring and recovering our health, and we were moving towards sovereignty. So here we are now taking that process, breaking that process up in a little bit more detail. Alignment, healing, and awakening. Three areas that you can focus on. Alignment. This is aligning a few things. This is the alignment of your health, your mental health, because it all begins with the mind. Doesn't matter what anyone says, that's where it begins. Whatever your mind is, if your mind is stressed, it's going to influence your emotions, which is going to influence your body, which is going to influence your health, right? So begin with aligning the mind, which is what we've been doing for the last 10 weeks. As your mind has become more and more aligned, you in yourself have started to notice perhaps that life is not as difficult as it could have been under the circumstances. That actually you coped quite well. Now that is really the credit goes to you because you had a practice in place. Those who had a practice in place are finding this really important, and now we will need a practice more than ever because the changes that this anger is starting to bring about are changes that will have huge implications on political structures, huge implications on relationships, and the choice is ours. The choice is ours. Either to take this moment to reclaim your freedom in a just and responsible way, or just simply follow the crowd. We are now in a process where we can critically think. We can think for ourselves and we can start asking certain questions. Why do we need 10 media channels, so called news channels, which tell you the same story? Why do we need 10 of them? Why do we need all of them? How come all the narrative is always the same? So what? Do they have some kind of telepathic process in which they all decide this is the news? So if there's anything that we can do, anything we can do, the first thing is to turn your back on mind controlled media. Turn your back on these propaganda channels because you will realize these propaganda channels, and in time, I am sure by the end of this year, many of them will be sued and should be sued because they propagate fear, they propagate anger. All this stuff that's going on where people are losing their properties, their lives, their livelihoods, and now there is burning and looting. When all of this is going on, it affects everyday people. Someone needs to take responsibility. And soon enough, we will awaken to the fact that our media channels have played a huge role in perpetuating crisis after crisis after crisis. And there is a reason for it. And the reason will become clear as we move along in our journey of awakening, of awareness, actually, what is going on. As we said earlier on, that it is hard to imagine life ever going back to what we used to think was normal. A new kind of paradigm is emerging, so a change in paradigm. This change in paradigm requires certain conditions. And what can we do in order to first make sure that we tread through this, we go through this in a way that we can maintain a level of sanity, we can maintain a level of clarity, we can remain healthy within ourselves, and we can be responsible of what we're thinking, what we're saying. Because now the time of expression is here. And this is what we're seeing today: the expression of injustice, the expression of concern. That expression is starting to come through. and no one is going to be um, go through. No one's going to be able to deny this process because this is happening at a kind of consciousness level, and we're all in the ocean. So this is happening at an ocean level. Let's assume consciousness is an ocean, and all of us are little ripples. So as the ocean changes, the ripples change. So this is what we are going through. And this process is going to become more and more intense as we go along. So you notice that the panic was quite intense. Well, people in America, people who are witnessing some of the protests and the riots, you can imagine how tense it is for them. So it's important for us to realize that we do not contribute to such energy. We do not contribute to the energy of anger. I'm not saying we don't contribute to the energy of a movement, but not in anger. Because this will just make life a lot more severe as it goes along. Although it has to be said, we don't learn as human beings until we go through a bit of pain and suffering. So, in some ways, this destruction and this deception that's being demonstrated and the impact it's going to have on each and every one of us and is having is really our healing process because we lived in a delusion. We lived in a way that we actually forgot our own self. We forgot what it means to be human. And as we said, this whole process of recovering your health and regaining your sovereignty is about what does it mean to be human. You have this one life, where you're going to spend it, what you're going to do with it. So we need to listen, but we need to be aware of what to listen to. So let me illustrate this with a story. So the story goes like this. So there's a flock of birds, and they were fantastic singers, but they could also speak with humans. And every day they would come together in a courtyard and sing their hearts out. And one particular one, the leader of this particular flock of birds, was an exceptionally good singer. And the song would just melt hearts wherever. So one day, a very rich businessman thought, I think I need that bird. So he went and he got some hunters together, bird catchers, and they caught the bird. So the bird was put into a beautiful golden cage. It was fed with the best bird food in the world. And all this businessman wanted was the bird to sing. So the bird was singing, and the bird, at the end of all the songs, in the morning, in the evening, would just say, I only have one wish. I wish to be free. I only have one wish. I wish to be free. And the businessman said, look, you know what? You've got a fantastic life here, but I'm sorry I can't give you freedom. Then this goes on, this goes on, this goes on, this goes on for about a year. And all the other birds, because this businessman was a collector of birds, were much older now. And they said to this young one, look, he's not going to let you go. We just get old and he gets a new one. So one day the bird sings a song and the businessman says, what do you want? That was such a beautiful song. He says, I'd like you to take me back to the flock of my friends because I want to see the face of my best friend. I want to sing a song to my best friend as I am ever going to be in this cage. So this businessman takes this beautiful cage, puts it outside, and all the other birds flock together to listen to their friend. And their friend sings the most beautiful song. And at the end of the song, as our caged bird stops, her best friend, sitting on the tree, falls down, legs up in the air, wings out, beak open. And everyone thought, oh my God, the shock killed this best friend. And as soon as the best friend fell onto the floor, the bird in the cage fell onto the floor, legs in the air, mouth open, wings open. And the businessman was so sad, thinking, oh my God, looking and seeing his best friend die, or her best friend dying, she's died herself. She must have had a heart attack. So he takes the bird out, and as he takes the bird out, the bird hops onto his hand and flies off. And the businessman said, "How did you know how to do this?" And the bird replies that when I sang my song and said what I wanted in my song, my best friend showed me how to escape. And the easiest way to escape was to pretend I was dead. And this story is relevant to our position today. We need to know what to listen to. And it certainly ain't mainstream media. Look at it for what it is, but do not allow it to influence your mind. Listen to what you need to listen to. Listen with intuition. Listen with intuition. If it feels right, it is right. And through this intuition, we will ensure you will see for yourself that life will carry you through all these rapids as the storms begin to approach. And there are many other things that this energetic space is going to do. It will change as it's changing human behavior. It is also changing the dynamics of our earth, the dynamics of our climate, the dynamics of our food system. There are many things that are underway, that are in the background going on, which means there are other changes that we will be witnessing. And some of them may be just like coronavirus has become a distant memory somewhere. The riots, even though they may go on for 6, 7 months, may become a distant memory because new issues have come about. So, need to just navigate ourselves through this transition. And remember, it's a transition and it will come back to balance. It will come. That's all it's going through. It's going through restoring balance. And for those people who have lost their businesses, are losing their businesses and their jobs, research, find out what's going on, how much truth you were told, and how much lies you were told. Find out, do your research. And over time, these people are accountable. These corporations are accountable. These businesses are accountable. These governments are accountable. And these police enforcers are accountable. And law is on your hand. Law is on your side. Use your intellect, use your collective understanding, research, understand, and you know what? No one has the right, no one has the right to impose and manipulate any individual in the way humanity has been done, set one group against the other, destroyed indigenous cultures, destroyed natural medicine, destroyed nature and environment. And in fact, you have now a few people, probably men, who own all your natural resources that are here and sold back to you like water is. I mean, time has come for humanity to claim its humanity. And in claiming your humanity, you reclaim all that you are part of. But to become part of that, you need to step away from your ego. Your ego is your disease. That's it. There's no other way. Everyone's ego is their disease. That's all it is. You can survive without one. You can use it as a tool, or you can allow it to be used as a tool, which is exactly what's happening when you engage with the mainstream diatribe. So please exercise some caution. So we are now going to go back to our alignment, and over the next month, we will slowly start unpacking this particular space. Um, as the lockdown comes off, maybe we may not need these conversations. But in the meantime, we will continue until people say enough is enough, or we don't have anyone participating. So let's move into our meditation, and this time we are simply going to look at our sovereign space, and we're going to recognize the timelessness and the eternal nature of what you are, because it is going into that we move from our mind, from our physical, we move to the emotional, to the mental, emotional, and then we go move within. And again, we'll be using a mantra as our frequency medicine. So the mantra that we have been using now for about 2 weeks is so hum. So we will go through a process, and if you just follow that process, and slowly we will move into a much deeper space um, of mindfulness and being present. So I'd like you to first, if you can, gently close your eyes, close your mouth, and as you draw a deep breath in, notice how your body feels. Notice any tension, any sensation within your body that is dominant. Imagine there's a hula hoop above your head, and as this hoop comes down, it begins to scan your body, begins with your head and moves down to your eyes. Take your time, moving all the way down, getting a good insight of what's happening within your body. Bring your focus now to the chair or the floor that you're sitting on. Allow it to hold you in place, which means you can allow your body to relax a little, to soften a bit. Even though your back is straight and upright and your shoulders are not hunched, your body still feels relaxed. Now bring your focus to the sensations where your body makes contact with the floor or the chair. Notice the size of these sensations. Notice the shape, if there is one. Notice if it's one sensation or a group of them. And as you breathe in, bring this focus upwards towards your hips. On your next breath out, bring this focus down to your thighs. From your knees, move down to your ankles. From your ankles, move down to your feet. And now just scan your back. So you begin with your lower back. Next breath in, slowly bring this awareness up towards your middle back. Next breath in, up towards your shoulder blades. Notice that your shoulders are not hunched. Bring this focus down towards your elbows. Bring this focus down towards your wrists, palms of your hands, fingers. Take your focus now to the back of your neck. Pull your chin in, notice the back of the neck stretching. Move your focus to your eyes. Notice the darkness. Allow this part of the body to relax and soften. Move your focus to your tongue. Allow it to soften. Notice on the roof of your mouth, on the side of your mouth. Allow your jaw to soften. As you draw breath in, again, bring your focus to yourself. and begin to notice your body again. So you can have a sense of the body, you can sense the skin, the arms, you can sense your face. So you have a body that has a solid, and then the same body also has liquid in it, the blood, the plasma, the saliva in your mouth. This is the water part of the body. You can also sense your body. That sense it takes place through electricity. So you have fire in the body. And if you bring your focus to your breath, you have air that comes in and that goes out. The body absorbs what it needs to and releases what it needs to. Balance. This is your air body. And then you occupy this space. Here, bring your focus to the location where you are at, the chair that you're sitting on. Notice your location, your space. That the space you're in, wherever you are, is fixed. Your body cannot come out of this space. It has to function within this space. And this body that you have connects you with all that exists in this moment. From the earth, water, oceans, fish, trees, birds, insects, clouds, sky, solar system, galaxy, universe. And this moment connects you to all the moments that ever have been. And this moment connects you to all the other moments that ever will be. So as you take your breath in, notice the stability of your body in this moment. Bring your focus now towards your chest. How do you feel in this moment? Comfortable, uncomfortable, pleasant, unpleasant, duk, sukh, distressed, settled. How do you feel? And then on your next breath out, open your awareness, begin to listen to the sounds that are just close to you. Allow the sounds to come to you. Notice that there are sounds which are further away. Just follow the sound of this bell as far as you can. This is your sacred space. When you're ready, beneath your nose, draw a slow, deep breath and relax. Hold your focus just beneath your nose. Allow the breath to breathe by itself and simply watch the in breath as it comes in, out breath as it goes out. Stay with your breath. Allow the breath to breathe by itself. Does your breath feel warm or does it feel cold? Does your breath have a sound? Stay with your breath, listening. Listening to your in breath as it comes in, listening to your out breath as it goes out. Allow every out breath to move you deeper and deeper into your own space. It is from this space that we are going to use the mantra. Notice how you feel. Do you feel less distracted? So, the first part of this mantra is that we recite it 3 times. We recite it loud so we can hear it and other people can hear it who are around us. The key is to allow yourself to listen and go with the sound for as long as you can. So we're going to do it 3 times. Draw a slow, deep breath in. So simply reciting the sound Soham. Once again, deep breath in. Listen to what's coming out through your sound. So once again. Your focus just beneath your nose. And just scan your body to see if there's anything going on that's noticeable. Next, we're going to whisper, again using a long breath and such that only we can hear it. And once again, listen to it as you recite it. Deep breath in. And again. And again, coming back to your breath. Notice how your internal climate has changed, if it has. Now bring your focus as best as you can to your breath and simply begin to listen to it. And you may notice that as you breathe in, the sound is kind of soft, and as you breathe out, the sound is like a hum. So just listen to that sound. And now, as the breath comes in, mentally say the word so to yourself, and as the breath goes out, say the word hum to yourself, reciting so hum with every breath. The sound should last as long as the breath. Allow the breath to breathe by. And now, with every breath out, begin to reduce the volume of the so hum within your mind, intently listening to it as you reduce the volume, allowing it to take you deeper and deeper. Keep listening, follow the sound. Allow every bell to take you deep into the silence from where you can listen. Listening through silence. Notice that there's no fear, no anger in this stillness. Notice the silence, notice the stillness, notice the clarity. You are this light, you are this awareness. No different from the ocean. Allow this bell to dissolve all boundaries and just merge with the oneness that's all around us. Your presence is your divinity. Your divinity is your sovereignty. Gently bring your focus back to your body. Notice how the body feels. Notice you're still sitting in the same place. You have sensations that go down your legs to your feet. Your body's, you can sense your body. You can see that your back is straight. Your shoulders, your arms are comfortable, as are your hands. Your eyes are closed, yet you are aware. Your mouth is closed, your face is relaxed. It's by itself. Allow your body to breathe by itself. As the breath comes in, you can feel your body. As the breath goes out, you can feel your body. As the breath comes in, you can sense your body. As the breath goes out, you can sense your body. Take a moment to appreciate the time you've given yourself, how blessed you are in all that there is. When you hear the next bell, use this bell to draw a few deep breaths in, and when you're ready, gently opening your eyes. Take your time. Thank you very much. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Know that you're safe. Know that you're looked after. Know that you are sovereign. And know that together we are always one. We hope you can join us again on Thursday. Thank you. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.